What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. Kaori Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. Well, I know y'all remember Predator versus Black Panther, right? Right. Good event. Well, now we are on Predator versus Spider-Man. And you'll see what I mean. This one is starting out quite a bit messy. It's not, and I'm not saying that Black Panther versus Predator was like not messy. It was definitely bloody, right? But it seems quite a bit more organized. However, I would say that they kind of wrote the story around how organized Wakanda is, and that this one is particularly messy because it's in New York. I think you'll see what I mean. So, we start off, it's summer, it's hot as fuck. And the police has just found 3 bodies in like this warehouse that's been abandoned, and they have all been skinned. Right? So there is somebody from the crime team who is there taking pictures with their phone. It doesn't seem suspicious at first, but wait a sec. So they're like, what do you think, detective? And she's she's chewing on ice because it's hot as fuck, and she's like, I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. And each one of them that has been skinned is missing a piece of them. So the person from the crime team is just like, well, the neighbors said that this place was abandoned. Do you think it could have been gang activity? What gang is going around skinning people? Not only skinning people, but taking things off of the body to keep. So there's 3 of them. One person is missing a finger, one person is missing a jaw, and the other person is missing a rib. Okay? So she's like, obviously this person is collecting fucking trophies. So they said, or the crime team member is like, hey, so are you gonna go talk to the neighbors? And the detective's like, well, I mean, that's basically my job. And she's going to go down and pick up something. When she goes to pick it up and she turns, is like, I need you to analyze this. That person that she was talking to is gone. And the crime team shows up, and they're like, hey, we just got here. And she's like, if y'all just got here, who the fuck was I talking to? But of course, it was Peter Parker, and he threw that one away to put on his Spider-Man costume and call Jonah Jameson. Now, as he's talking to Jonah's just like, I don't need good news, I need bad news. And they're talking about him being 5 subscription cancels away from not having a job. So they've gone from newspaper to online subscriptions here. Okay. And he's like, what if I can bring you mass murder? He's like, please tell me you have fucking pictures. He has pictures. So, he's on his way. He tells him he'll be there in about 5 minutes, but then he sees some fucking criminals who just robbed someplace. And he's like, actually, give me 20. And they're driving this van so incredibly recklessly, and they almost hit a group of kids. So he goes and he saves the kids. The van does get away, but I think he's able to see where it goes. And after he saves the kids, he's like, all right, cool, let me go find the bad guys. Meanwhile, while he's going to go find the bad guys go into this abandoned warehouse. I feel like everybody should stop doing that, actually. They go into this warehouse and they're getting ready to split the cash with each other. And he's the lead person is literally just talking, and he turns around and is like, are you guys ready for your cut? But when he turns around, they're quite literally dead. Cut down, if you will. And he turns around and he's like, and he has a gun in his hand. He's like, I'll shoot you or whatever. And then his face gets pulled off, and then he gets stabbed. The face being pulled off, kind of just, raw dogging that. that is a lot. That is a lot of things going on in the face area. It's really gross. Anyway, the Predator then just has the face and starts playing with it. Like, that was okay. Now, after Parker has saved the children, he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go catch the bad guys. He goes to the warehouse that they were at, and the bodies are hanging. There's 3 of them. One of them is missing their hands. One of them is missing their leg a little bit above the knee, but not like the entire leg. I would say some of the thigh too. And the other one is definitely just missing their fucking head. All of them have been skinned though. So he calls Jonah Jameson again and is like, we have a fucking serial killer, bro. And you know he's excited. So when he goes, he's like talking about how it is that they're going to be able to put this out. And he wants it to be like the tone of the article to be like fear-inducing. And he's like, we don't want this to happen to anybody else. We need to be like protecting them. And so he's like, he wants to get it across all social media, but the power goes out. Meanwhile, Mary Jane is on the subway and the power goes out. Mind you, it's hot, right? It's the summer. The power goes out. One of the girls on the train that I believe she knows has claustrophobia. When the lights go out, she starts losing her fucking mind. And then they both realize that there's somebody outside of the train and they're like, oh, maybe they're coming to work on the subway. So we should be moving anytime. And it's a face, a hollow face. And then it's a big face wearing a couple of small faces stretched out on their big face. It is, do you see? Gross. Now, because the power is out, they aren't able to get their article out across any type of social media. They don't have any signal or anything like that. So they decide to go old fashioned, turn on that big ass printer and print newspapers. You're a fucking newspaper. You should have been doing that. So they print the papers and they start handing out the papers. The detective comes into contact with Jameson and is like, photo creds to Peter Parker. I want Peter Parker for an interview now. Where is he? Peter Parker is off in his Spiderman costume to go assist. Later that night, there is an older man who is selling the papers, talking about there's a predator on the loose, and these 2 men like threaten him, like, and almost try to shoot him, but you know, a steel arrow goes through his hand and another one goes through the guy's head. And then here comes Kraven the Hunter and he's like, you were talking about a predator? Tell me about that. Meanwhile, Peter does go to Mary Jane's apartment to find her. She's not there, and you see the script, I believe is what she was reading, is on the floor of the subway train that she was on, covered in blood, and her hand is next to it. Or a hand is next to it. May not be her hand. Who knows? This is very interesting. As you can see, very, very messy. This predator is not nearly as organized as what was going on in the Predator versus Black Panther story, but I'm interested to see where it goes. The art is still there. I still really like that part, so you know, we'll see. The inclusion of Kraven the Hunter in this Predator story fits because you have a predator going after prey, and Kraven likes to fucking hunt, of course. So I sense he's probably going to die. Maybe later on. Hopefully not like in the next issue or anything. So I feel like they're going to have to team up and that he quite possibly will die. Not even gonna lie. So, but tell me what you guys think. Do you think that you're going to like this one or what have you? But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.